Welcome back to the Podgekins YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the wool hair. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and let's get started. I'm going to be showing you a slightly different method to the wool hair than in the instructions, but it's a very quick method and actually a really good method to do if you want to sew this really quickly. But I'll be talking through kind of how to place the wefts on the head and all of that as well. So you want to get your yarn, and in the same way as in the instructions, you need something hard like a hard envelope like this or a book, something about an A4 piece of paper in size, and then you're going to wrap your yarn around the envelope several times as flat as possible, so each strand is laid flat next to each other. You continue this until you have filled up about 10 to 15 centimeters wide of yarn on your envelope or book. Now this is where the method is slightly different to the written instructions. You want to get yourself a scrap piece of paper with a fold down the middle and lay one edge of your yarn against that fold. In the instructions you sew this by hand at the top of the envelope before you cut it away, but this method I've just found super quick and works just as well. So you cut one edge of the yarn, and then as you can see I've just placed it, folded it away from the envelope and placed it on the piece of paper. So the middle of the yarn is placed on the fold of the paper. You're then going to lift it up really carefully and stitch with your sewing machine using a matching thread through the centre line and actually through the paper. The paper holds the yarn in place, which is really cool, and then the thread obviously stitches across that centre line and it creates a weft of hair really quickly. In the instructions this is sewn by hand and then cut away, which obviously you can still do, but this method is just a lot quicker, so I prefer to do it this way now, but yeah, either way is valid. So yeah, sew across the yarn. I've done this in a contrasting thread so you can see it a bit better, but then you can see that is now the centre of that weft of hair, and then you simply tear the paper away. It's honestly that simple. You might have little bits left over, but you can just pick them out, and then you've created one weft of hair. You're going to repeat this process so that you have two wefts of hair, and this is to make the bunches hair in the instructions. So I'll show you how to place the wefts onto the head. So one weft of hair is pinned on the doll's head across the front. So where the seam of the head is at the top, you're going to pin this weft across so that the centre of the weft is in the middle, the hair is facing down and then to the back of the head. And what you'll see is when you flip this over, once it's sewn onto the head, you get a lovely kind of straight part of the head. So you hand stitch this in place, and this is me repeating the process of making another weft. And for bunches hair, you have one weft over the centre of the head, just slightly in front of the seam so that it's not, she just doesn't have a big forehead. And then the second weft is placed with the centre of the weft down the centre of the back head. So where your seam is at the centre back of your dolly is where the weft line will go, and this is how you place on the wefts to create the bunches hair, and then just stitch that in place with a standard kind of running stitch. And here's a quick look at how you then make it into bunches. So once the hair was sewn on by hand, you can then pull your hair back like this and kind of create the hairstyle that you want. So whether you want to plait them to the side or you want to create little bunches, whatever style you want to do basically, but this placement of the wefts means that you can have two bunches or two plaits or two buns on either side, and it will sit nicely. So once I had put my hair where I wanted it, I plaited these ones, and then you can add some hand stitches to kind of hold the hair in place across the front where you want it. It's a really easy and simple method, and hopefully this video helped. I will be creating more video tutorials on wool hair because I've had lots of questions about it, but let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you'd like to see, and I will see you next time. Bye!